What is up YouTube? It's Mike here, Dezaras Prime, back with another Transformers Combiner Wars review, and we are continuing after a day off. For me anyway, well it's for you as well, I do it every other day. But we're continuing with the Aerialbots and the final limb of the series, this wave, Alpha Bravo. Well, this team I should say. Because I know Wave 1 had a Stunticon and was missing a Aerialbot. But yeah, I didn't review yesterday. I did a few on Monday, at that time of recording, which ended with, the Susie Dent of Transformers. No offence to Susie Dent. Skydive. Today we're here with Firefly, not Firefly, I've done Firefly. Not done Firefly, but I've reviewed Firefly. Alpha Bravo. So I've just finished watching, again at time of recording, the Elseworlds crossover with Arrow, Flash and Supergirl, and it's kind of got my brain in a bit of a muddle. In a good way, but yeah. Alpha Bravo. I've covered this toy before, with, I believe, Protectobot blades. But, yeah, this one was the OG, I'll say. Bring him back. And put him forward. There we are. Yeah, nice head sculpt there. I do have an issue with the grey plastic. It's not bad when you look at it. It's very streamlined. It's very central. The legs, the upper legs at least, the chest piece and the sides of his helmet. So it's not like there's grey plastic all over the place. And it kind of, I personally would have gone with white plastic. Because Alpha Bravo isn't a G1 Aerialbot. So there's no lack of continuity or anything there. Or betraying the character's aesthetic or anything. I would have gone with white there, and maybe black on the legs, just because the shins and calves are primarily white. But still, not bad. The grey isn't all over the place. It's very down the middle, which I can appreciate. And I said the head sculpt is nice. The mouthpiece, the lovely blue visor that he wears, and some nice little detailing on the shoulders, and that little Autobot symbol there. And all in all, he looks good. I like the paint job on the forearms, and the nice mix of bronze orange or burnt orange, I believe. It probably a more bronze orange, because the chest and head look more burnt than, even they don't look that burnt. But yeah, and then you come down to the legs, and the nice subtle black detailing on the foot, and the blue stripe around there with the rest of the helicopter's cockpit there. Kibble wise, it's standard, isn't it? You can't really help it. It's got to go somewhere. It's not that bad though, I don't think. Even this, you can turn that around if you see fit. Leave it like that, and it kind of doesn't seem as egregious, but either way's fine, I guess. I kind of leave it like that, just so it kind of breaks up the whole back of the chopper on his back thing. If you flip it around, it adds to the transformation effect, I guess. But I can completely understand why some people would have it like that, because it will, you can see it shows the head more. But yeah, it does kind of look like he's got a massive white mohawk. Points of articulation. He has a spinning fin. Head can do the full 360 up. I've been forgetting up and downs, haven't I? But it can go up significantly, and it can go down to a degree, but nothing major. Arms go out, and yep, full 360. They're on a ball joint. He doesn't have the bicep swivel. He has the elbow swivel that I believe Firefly has. Yes, Firefly has the elbow swivel, not the upper bicep swivel. No wrist action. Point. Yeah, the usual 3 waist rotation. Although his clips in, there's a little bit of a click when you get it right, so that's a nice little touch there. So just bring his arms out of the way. His legs go all the way out, forward, back. Although it's kind of hindered by that, but who puts the leg back that far? Thigh swivel. And if I can just clip this back in, bend at the knee. And a little bit of foot maneuverability, but that's mainly for the transformation into helicopter. So all in all, not a bad little figure. I do like it. Like I said, I would have personally changed out the grey, but the grey isn't bad. And the colour palette is nice. It pops. You've got that black and white, and you've also got the orange and a little bit of blue. And so it's a definite step up from Skydive, because Skydive was just dull. He was an insult to dishwater. Anyway, let's get a comparison done with Protectorbot blades and see if there's any moulding differences or any difference in sculpting, and just compare the two in general. Okay, so we are back, and here is Aerialbot Alpha Bravo with Protectorbot blades. And you know, the obvious difference is the head sculpt. They're similar. They both have those squared off sides, but there are obvious differences in the face. Bravo has the mouth and plate and the visor, whereas Blade is more, he's got the eyes and the mouth and a bit of a fucking angry face. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I picked up on this in my original review back in the old place, but he doesn't look like he will protect you. It's more like protection money bot blades. Like, he'll protect you if you pay him. We've got some nice ridges on the forehead there that carry around to the side. But yeah, he looks like one angry bastard. Chest detailing. Let's have a look. Blade still has those nubs on the shoulder. And I believe it's the moulding on the chest and, for that matter, the waist is the same. Obvious difference in paint, but I'll get to that in a minute. Arms look identical in design. Let's see if I can just get the focus on the arm there. It's hard to get the focus there on the arm, but it shows up. The focus seems to show up better on Bravo. It does on Blade. I don't know if it's because of the white head. It tends to blur the arm a bit more. There we go. Yeah, I would say definitely identical moulding on the arms. Just bring them to the side and check the front of the arms quickly. Yeah, they look the same to me. Legs. Upper thighs and crotch piece the same. And the lower legs look the same as well. This does seem much like... I will say they have different legs to the rest of the fucking Aerialbot limbs. It does look like the exact same moulding. It seems like the remoulding came in the later waves, because Blades and Bravo look like they've got the exact same moulding. Who else was it? I did a comparison with Skyhawk and Air Raid and Hellbat and fucking Boredom Mania, fucking Skydive. They all seem to be the exact same moulding as well. So yeah, it looks like the remold came later. It's like Hasbro realised, yeah, we can't just keep repainting them. We need to do something a little bit different. I like the paint apps on both. I've mentioned the paint colour scheme on Alpha Bravo. There's still the grey plastic on Blades, but it kind of fits more because of the silver plastic as well. You've got the flat grey shoulders and the silver painted forearms that go all the way around and onto the fists, as opposed to Bravos who only go up to that point, and the fists are mainly white. It's like he's wearing fingerless gloves or gauntlets in a way. And then down here we've got, obviously Blades has Rescue and the white stripe, but minimally painted cockpit, whereas Bravo has the nice detailing around there, the paint work around there, but Blades just has that bit. So neither is bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like that logo, the Autobot Coastal Rescue, I think that says. And then, but Bravo just has the standard Autobot symbol there. And also, Blades has the painted rotator in the rear fin. And then obviously Blades has the painted design going down to the waist, which is the nice silver, and then the grey plastic, kind of, you can't really tell that well. You can't tell that bad that it's different. It's flat plastic on silver paint. You can with the arms a bit more, but that bit down there, I'm going to stop doing that. That's blends in pretty nicely actually. And obviously the painted pectorals, silver there. So both very nice figures, both very nice paint schemes. Let's get to Alpha Bravo's helicopter mode. Gotta say, I do really like the helicopter mode on these guys. Bravo, Blades, Vortex, I want to say. It's, I can't remember what review it was exactly, but I mentioned Studio Series Blackout, and it was the, I believe the leaders, the Seekers review, Jetfire, Starscream and Friends. And I was saying how it's hard to successfully pull off a jet or an aerial mode in general and keep everything contained and covered and folded in nicely without there being any obvious robot traces. And I made a comparison between the 2007 Voyager Blackout and the Studio Series Leader Blackout. And I said the one thing that the Voyager has over the Leader is that it all comes together nicely. And this is a good example of that as well. Because if you look underneath, with the exception of the combiner peg and the head, which, yeah, again, it shows on the back they do tend to blend in pretty nice together. But yeah, if that was white, it'd probably blend in a bit more. But my point being, it's all well hidden. I mean, you see the fists, but if you look at it from the side, missiles. They've done a really good job of hiding the robot kibble in the chopper mode on this mold. and they should be commended for that. As a chopper, it doesn't really do. Yeah, you can fly it like that, and yeah, it's pretty much what you do with a chopper. You can pretend to pew pew shoot the missiles and stuff. I like the colours. The white's really vibrant, and the blue complements it nicely, and even the orange. It all goes together nicely with the black on the front there, and the black propellers. Yeah, is it propellers? I think so. I'm not very good with vehicle anatomy. I know wheels and the rest of the thing. I'm not even joking that much. But yeah, there's a nice contrast of colours, and they go together nicely. Yeah, the blue and the orange and the white and the black goes together a lot better than I thought it would. There's not really a lot to talk about with the vehicle, the chopper. There's some nice sculpting. I'll show you the sculpting if I can. Let's get that out of the way. But yeah, you can see the sculpting on the top. A lot of panels there and lines, which really helps with masking the panel lines that actually do come apart and stuff. Like if you look at those bits there, then you've got these ridges here as fuck off. Stop it. You've got these ridges here as well that kind of mask that a little bit. I kind of like that. I know some figures suffer with panel lines pretty badly. Universe Ironhide's a good example. But you know, little molding like that, just sculpting, it helps to alleviate that a little bit. Obviously, Ironhide was a trickier task because he's a van. You don't put fucking all those weird panel lines in a van. But yeah, it is what it is. All in all, I like the robot mode. I like the chopper mode. It's nice. It comes together a lot nicer than some chopper modes do. Let's get to a comparison with Blades, shall we? Okay, so we have Alpha Bravo and Blades in their chopper modes, and I'm going to say I like Bravo's better. I know I mentioned before with Blades that sometimes the grey and the silver, they line up nicely, but with this it's kind of more noticeable, especially on the backdrop of the white stripe with Blades' chopper mode, and underneath you've got that mix of silver, grey and white that it's not terrible, but it isn't masked as well as Alpha Bravo's underside is. But still a very nice paint job. With the exception of that, and again, it's masked pretty well. It's a lot better than Studio Series Blackout, but it's Blades is a bit more plain than Bravo. And I think having that extra colour for Bravo helps. If you just look at the like the nose tip, it's painted on Bravo and it's not on Blades. But I think having that extra colour helps. Blades is red, white, grey and silver, whereas Bravo is, oh, class grey and silver is the same. You'll understand why. White, black, blue and orange. You see what I mean? You've got a nicer contrast there. You've got 4 properly separate colours as opposed to 2 separate colours and one that looks the same but shinier. I do feel well, red, white, grey and black, so they've both got the same amount of colours, but there's a nicer contrast with Alpha Bravo in my opinion. And sometimes it's the typical superhero thing. I believe they only allow 3 colours in a costume mostly, and it's typical trope. And some, you like the colours to match up, don't you? I mean, I appreciate how Blades his colour scheme is very uniform: red, white, grey, black. And yet, Alpha Bravos on the surface may seem, or if you read it out, it seems a bit garish. Black, white, black, blue, and orange. You're like, what the hell? But it pulls it off nicely, and it does a good job of that. Whereas Blades it does what it's expected. I think is the best way. Alpha Bravos works better than it should, but Blades works. So I think that's the best way to describe it. But still, both very nice chopper modes. That's pretty much all there is to say about it. The sculpting is the same. You can see the like little, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're windows because they're, this isn't a passenger chopper, is it? You don't get passenger choppers, but yeah, the sculpting seems identical. They're both pretty good. I like them both. Let's get on to the limb modes. So his leg mode's pretty good. I think it's definitely benefited by the chopper mode being so nice and compact and having very few gaps or anything. It definitely works and helps out the leg mode tremendously because there's no holes or obvious fucking robot kibble other than arms. But even the arms, like I said, because of the missiles, are well hidden. Bit of a gap if you look there, but that can be offset by the blades if they want to stay where they are. I mean, you can't see as much of me as you could if I went like that. Yeah, all I'd say about the leg mode, it's a decent leg. You can flip that. So if you decide to use this guy and blades as legs, then you can have one facing one way and then blades can be facing the other for a nice bit of matching there, or inside if you want, but that might cause the legs to twat against each other a bit. Don't know. All I know is leg mode is decent. It's nothing to write home about, but very few of these legs are. Hound's a good leg, Mirage is a good leg, even Ironhide makes a good leg. So, but yeah, this one it's definitely up there with the better legs, but again, it's nothing overly special. Let's get to arm mode. Okay, so his leg mode's a bit of an oddity, and because usually when I transform, when I have my arms, I generally go with it in that configuration. So the legs are going backwards and the knees are bending backwards because it gives more flexibility with the arm. I mean, you can do it like that, but I prefer to have it like that just so there's that extra little joint, if you will, in the elbow. Problem is you've got this bit here, the nose bit on Bravo, and part of the nose cone, and honestly, get your fingers out. Just line it up. Honestly, I prefer it like that because it's on the top and not on the bottom. I don't know why, I just prefer that look for it. It's almost like it's an extra bit of protection if it's holding a weapon, and then there's just that extra little bit of shielding just above there that could protect you. Whereas on the underside, it's just there. But the problem is obviously you've got less flexibility with it. And there's that as well. Arms don't do that, or arms shouldn't do that. But yeah, it's just like that. or yeah, it's very rigid. I know that we as people don't have that amount of articulation in our own elbows, but these are robots. I just prefer the added flexibility there. I just think it adds for a better range of movement. So I would say I would probably go with that. Although I would rather that was on the other side. Don't think there's a way to offset that though, which is a shame, but there's also the issue with this thing here. I mean, I've not figured out any way to... I mean, you could have it like that, I guess. And then you've got more freedom. I've actually considered that. Because I also, if you notice, my tab is at an angle, because I tend to have them with their arms out a little bit. Stop it. Yeah, I tend to have them with their arms out a little bit. But if I have it flat up against Superion's chest, we'll see when we get to that, because not Silverbolt and Superion are coming next. That might work. The blade's going across the body, or it might cause a bit of collision with the torso. I don't know, but I'll keep that in mind when we get to the actual combination mode, and I'll make sure to use Alpha as an arm, because I believe he was a leg before. But yeah, you can have it like that, but it doesn't limit the movement. It just kind of gets in the way a little bit, that's all. So all in all, Alpha Bravo and this mould in general are, yeah, I like them. I do like them. The robot modes are nice. The vehicle modes are really nice. They go together really well. They're nice and compact. They collapse nicely. Transformation's fun as well. It kind of a lot of these, when you transform into a vehicle, the waist swivel is only there for the limb purposes of the limb. Otherwise, with some of them, you wouldn't really need a waist swivel. This one makes use of the waist swivel in the transformation from robot to vehicle, and vice versa. So I appreciate that. All in all, decent little toy. Yeah, it's definitely up there. I'm thinking of, I think I mentioned it before, but once Combiner Wars is wrapped, my reviews of Combiner Wars, I'll probably do a couple of lists. So there would be my top 10 figures, which won't include combiner modes, because I'm going to do a separate one for combiners. I mean, Combiner Wars figure, the combiner limbs and torsos might make it into the list, but only as their individual figures. I can't really rank, I don't know, Mirage over Bruticus, because Bruticus is a combination of 5 and Mirage is on his own. It just wouldn't seem right. So I'll rank the individual figures, top 10, including the leaders. And then what I'll do is do I have 10 combiners? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I have 9 combiners. I think. Defensor. Superion, we're doing now. Optimus Maximus. Betatron. Galvatronus. Menasor, Bruticus, Devastator, Liokaiser. Yeah, I only have 9 combiners. I'll probably do. I've got Volcanicus, the Dinobot combiner, but that isn't Combiner War, so I'm not going to count that. Because I'd rather that was in the Power of the Primes. Or I could just do it, the Prime Trilogy combiners, but then I'll be getting to fucking the Dinobots earlier than intended. I don't know. I might just do the top 9. Or I might leave the combiners review until the end, the top 10. Review the figures. And then the individual. I'll do a top 10 for the individual ones, and then after I've done my Power of the Primes reviews, do a review for like the top 10 combiners that I own. Because then I can use fucking Dreadwind and Darkwing on Galvatronus just to add a couple more Decepticons in there. Yeah, I'll do that. At the end of the Combiner Wars run, I'll do my top 10 Combiner Wars figures. And then when the whole Prime Wars trilogy is wrapped, I will do my review of the Combiners then. That seems like the best way, because then I've got a flat 10. And I hate having 6, 7, 8 and 9. It's always got to be 5s or 10s with me. I'm just a weirdo like that. So, talking bollocks again, aren't I? I'm going to stop talking bollocks. And I'm going to move on to the Silverbolt review. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Dezaras Prime. Adidas amigos. You shall see me next time.